Who is Caolin? She was the epitome of the blue guardian spirit, as described in the Song of a Dying World core book, embodying dauntless, pillar of the community, protective, resilient, and strong. Being an executor in the Age of Legends, she accomplished many extraordinary deeds. However, who was Caolin the woman? What was her story? And how is it tied to Avalon? Caolin was born in the Homelands, near Arthur's kingdom of Camlan, as the daughter of Fuel, the warrior queen of the Stiltwood tribe. During Uther Pendragon's reign, Stiltwood clashed with the Pendragons, their modest tribe no match for Uther's might. Rooted in beliefs akin to the Norse, Stiltwood likely hailed from the northern homelands, frequently battling the Picts, whom they deemed barbaric. Queen Fuel, a fierce leader, often fought alongside Arthur against the Picts, yet Stiltwood harbored distrust for him, wary of his father's warlike legacy. As a child during these turbulent years, Caolin idolized her mother. Coming of age in Stiltwood required a grueling ritual to mark adulthood. Without it, one remained a child, denied full tribal rights. The ceremony involved a night of dance, song, and revelry, in which the initiate would wear a glove filled with fire ants, enduring the pain with a straight face while enjoying the ceremony to show maturity. While some cheated with poppy seeds or numbing oils, Caolin was determined to make Fuel proud. She faced the trial unaided at around 14 and earned her place as an adult. Aspiring to emulate her mother's prowess as a hunter and warrior, Caolin, though short and thin, shared Fuel's fierce passion and drive to protect the vulnerable. Though queens were rare in Stiltwood, Fuel's exceptional leadership brought safety and peace, and while the tribe acknowledged Arthur as the King of Kings, they guarded their distinct identity with quiet reservations, hoping to live independently. Then came the Red Death. The Red Death struck, and at first, Stiltwood's isolation seemed to shield them, with few infected among their tribe. They waited with bated breath for Arthur or Merlin to come up with a solution. But a lone rider brought grim news. Arthur planned to sail to Avalon, where a cure was rumored, leaving the homelands to fend for themselves. Arthur advised the queen to make preparation for a long voyage. Without his army, plague bearers would overrun Stiltwood. Queen Fuel, ever decisive, ordered the construction of 7 longboats to carry her tribe's belongings, food, and livestock. Living on the coast, Stiltwood's skilled shipbuilders took on the task, but time was short. Fuel estimated weeks before departure as Arthur summoned kingdoms worldwide, but the plague's rapid spread forced him to sail early, terrifying the survivors. Knowing plague bearers would soon swarm Stiltwood, Fuel demanded the boats be finished the next day, despite needing more time. Engineers toiled through the night, and the entire village worked frantically as dawn broke, still unprepared. As twilight in the following day fell and the boats were nearly ready, word came of infected hordes advancing. Fuel rallied dozens of warriors and shield maidens, forming a shield wall to hold back the infected, while civilians, led by Caolin, hurriedly loaded belongings and livestock. The first wave fell, leaving Fuel's warriors bloodied but victorious. Before they could regroup, another horde charged from a new front. Frantic, the warriors sprinted to meet the plague bearers head-on and clashed. In a chaotic melee, many warriors perished, but Fwell fought on, with 2 shield maidens and a few others. As the last of the civilians boarded, 1 longboat remained for the warriors. Caolin, desperate, ran to her mother, screaming in horror as more plague bearers approached. Silently, Fwell showed her daughter her arms. They were lacerated and tainted with infected blood. The queen and her warriors were doomed, as even with the cure on Avalon, they never would make the journey. Through tears, Caolin was pulled to the boat by an elder right as it launched. Her final glimpse of her mother was Fwell, valiantly leading a dozen soldiers to their deaths, a beacon of courage against the encroaching darkness. Likely as a teenager, Caolin faced a transformed reality after her mother's death. Once revered in Stiltwood for Fwell's legacy, she was now judged solely by her own actions. The grueling voyage to Avalon was brutal, and Caolin grappled with profound grief, orphaned and alone without her mother. Gazing upon the mist-covered island of Avalon, the people of Stiltwood watched Arthur organize the massive human fleet to come ashore. Caolin's tribe watched from afar. Thanks to Fwell's sacrifice, Stiltwood suffered less starvation than others in Arthur's exodus, though food and disease remained threats. Wary of Arthur, the tribe's 3 elders chose to settle on rock islets west of the Twin Sisters, avoiding the king. They built homes atop stone peaks connected by rope bridges and hunted beyond the islets without a menhir's protection. Living on the mainland's edge, they seemed to have avoided the weirdness's grasp. Caolin, lost and adrift, resolved to honor her mother by becoming a hunter. Unlike Fwell, hunting didn't come naturally to her, but her determination drove her forward. Each failed hunt drew scorn or laughter from her tribe, yet occasional successes honed her skills. On one hunt, Caolin spotted a hell pig, a massive, corrupted, boar-like beast. Though unsettling, she saw it as a prize to feed her village. Positioning herself 40 paces away, she clutched 4 arrows in one hand, bow in the other, and loosed them in rapid succession. The first struck true, and the enraged hell pig charged. Her next 3 shots hit their mark, yet the beast pressed on. As it bore down, Caolin realized she couldn't outrun or outfight it. Dodging its charge, she drew her knife, slashing in vain. Just as the hell pig threatened to crush her, a direwolf leapt from the bushes, catching the beast off guard. Wounded and surprised, the hell pig fell. Caolin sprang up, bracing for the wolf's attack, but it only snarled over the kill, as if claiming the prize, accepting it as payment for sparing her life. Cautiously backing away from the direwolf as it devoured the hell pig, Caolin sheathed her weapons and gathered her scattered belongings. Knowing she couldn't challenge her savior for the carcass, she trudged back to Stiltwood, disheartened from yet another failed hunt. Sensing movement, she realized that the wolf was trailing her. Wary of an attack, she locked eyes with the beast and saw a glimmer. Could this be a guardian? Peering deeper, she recognized the eyes of her mother, Fwell. Tentatively, Caolin extended her hand towards the wolf, and it, unlike others, neither growled nor flinched, allowing her to touch. Convinced the wolf carried Fwell's spirit, Caolin felt an undeniable bond. Rushing to Stiltwood's outskirts, she emerged from the mists, with the wolf at her side, alarming the guards. Urgently, she ordered them to lower their weapons, proclaiming that the wolf was Fwell. The village erupted in outrage, deeming her claim as a Pictish blasphemy. Though Caolin had been tolerated for her mother's legacy despite her shortcomings, this crossed a line. The elders tried to soothe her, attributing her belief to grief. but Caolin forcefully defended her conviction, arguing with anyone who questioned it. In her heart, she knew the wolf was Fwell, and believed a spirit healer could prove it, but Stiltwood had lost theirs. Labeled a heretic and mad, she wasn't banished, but chose to leave Stiltwood in disgrace. She knew the people of Stiltwood didn't have the heart to throw out the daughter of their queen from only months ago, so she decided to leave to let them save face. Homeless and alone, Caolin became a nomadic recluse, dwelling in the Weirdness's edge. With Stiltwood's spirit healer long dead, her search for another across Avalon proved fruitless. Caolin and her wolf roamed the Weirdness, observing the Age of Legends as outsiders. Years later, rumors reached her of an expedition to Avalon's far west to find a lost fleet, possibly including a spirit healer. Driven by hope, Caolin rode Fwell, her wolf, to Tainted to join Merlin and Galahad's venture. She watched in awe as Merlin's spells held back the Weirdness, guiding the fleet into uncharted lands. For those unfamiliar with what followed, check out my Tainted Grail lore saga series for the full story. The expedition to find the Lost Fleet ended in catastrophe, overwhelmed by four-dweller giants in the Weirdness-drenched lands of Avalon's far west. Countless knights, lords, and captains fell, but Caolin survived, her direwolf, Fwell, matching the giant's size and with unrivaled ferocity despite lacking magical prowess. With most officers dead, Caolin's heritage as the daughter of the warrior queen made her a natural leader for the survivors. Though short, young, and less skilled than seasoned commanders, her unyielding willpower and loyal dire wolf companion set her apart. Speaking with a conviction beyond her years, shaped by the trauma of her youth and the horrors of war, she rallied the survivors. Joining Merlin, Caolin led them eastward, stopping at Stiltwood to seek aid. Years after her exile, her tribe still shunned her, though a few urged the elders to reconsider. Cooler heads prevailed, granting her tolerance but not acceptance. They mostly remained wary, thinking that the weird had warped her mind into believing that her wolf was somehow Fwell. Undeterred, Caolin guided the survivors through the Weirdness to Tainted Grail, Arthur's capital. For their heroism, Caolin, Thibault, Nazar, Duana, and Neve, emerging leaders of the Trek, were named executors, the king's trusted allies and right hands. Caolin accepted the title with mixed feelings. Leadership called to her, but she knew Stiltwood would see it as a betrayal of her heritage, deepening her exile's sting and making returning home even harder. Drawing on her mother's political acumen, she proved vital in stabilizing Arthur's kingdom during the Age of Legends, especially in quelling an impending civil war. Understanding the desire for independence among Avalon's lords, she empathized with their burdens, yet passionately defended Arthur, persuading them to unite under the once and future king. Traveling with the executors, Caolin learned from southern homeland survivors of a spirit healer to the west. Overjoyed, she urged the group to head there immediately, desperate to confirm if her direwolf Fwell carried her mother's spirit. They arrived at the Nook, later known as Timberwall, where a kind and generous spirit healer welcomed them. Bringing Fwell to the healer's home, Caolin posed the question that had driven her for years. The healer entered a trance and delivered bittersweet news. As you were traveling the world with this wolf, braving the weirdness, you did something to it. You imprinted it, slowly changed it, and now there is something in this animal, an echo of human consciousness buried deep, nascent. So, is it your mother after all, or not? It's up to you to decide, my child." Overwhelmed, Caolin embraced Fwell, weeping. Her mother was gone, yet her own longing had unwittingly infused the wolf with a weird-touched echo of humanity. Grappling with grief, confusion, and the shame of Stiltwood's accusations of madness, she struggled to redefine her identity and place in the world. Resilient, she pressed on as an executor, knowing in the grand scheme of things, life was more important than her. She fought on, aiding Arthur in ending the war against the Foredwellers. Her courage shone brightest as one of the few survivors to escape the horrors of Tuathan, cementing her legend in Avalon's history. As the Age of Legends ended, Caolin earned renown as Caolin the Wolf Rider, her dire wolf Fwell a constant companion, though notorious for raiding chicken coops and startling children. Outshining her fellow executors, she was celebrated as a prodigy, her wisdom far surpassing her youth. Returning to Stiltwood as a hero of Avalon, she rode Fwell to the village's entrance. Met not with sneers, but with reverence. The elders requested a meeting, praising her deeds and offering her the title of Queen of Stiltwood, just like her mother. Bitterness stirred within Caolin. Exiled and scorned, she was now embraced only after proving herself without their support. Yet, reflecting on her mother's legacy and the orphan children of Avalon's wars, she accepted the crown on the condition of remaining loyal to Arthur. The elders agreed, crowning her in a ceremony with a circlet of bones. During Arthur's Golden Age, Caolin, unlike other executors, frequently visited Arthur, her sincerity a refreshing contrast to self-serving nobles. Likely outliving the king, she remained a steadfast leader, embodying the nobility and strength of a bygone era. Known as the Wolf Rider, Caolin defended the vulnerable, her bow ever ready to deliver justice, a beacon of hope whose legacy endured in Avalon's heart. Caolin's journey from orphaned princess to warrior queen makes her integral to the Tainted Grail mythology. Her story weaves a rich tapestry of survival, strength, and resolve, embodying the essence of the Blue Guardian spirit and standing as a true exemplar. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Caolin's lore. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, consider joining our Discord, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for more Tainted Grail character breakdowns, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys later. Bye-bye.